How's it going, everybody? We are back with yet another Penny's Big Breakaway video. Can you believe it? Today I have something awesome to show you guys. I never properly introduced our main characters. This is Penny. She's an incredible acrobatic performer. Here at the start, we pick up this cosmic string. This thing is a demon from hell. What kind of demon? A speed demon. This yo-yo absolutely does not like going slow. It likes to jump around all over the place. This world is its playground, and there's nothing stopping this duo from going wherever they want to go, and however fast they want to get there. This is my final video in this trilogy of Penny Speed Tech in this game. In my last video in this series, at the end, I said I had nothing left to show you guys, but I was very wrong. In this video, we will look at some of the more niche and lesser known advanced techniques that speedrunners use to get Penny from here to there faster than you can blink an eye. Some of these tricks may seem easy or obvious. Some may seem really weird or tough to execute, but these are things speedrunners use all the time to go faster and faster. Alright. Enough yapping. Let's see how we can bring out this speed demon. Alright, so here we are at the palace. In our first tech video, we learned how to do a sleep bounce by holding out the yo-yo like this and jumping on it. And you can use the X button or the right stick. And you can hold the yo-yo out for a long time. And you just jump on it, and this is a sleep bounce. Now, what this is actually the same motions as doing a swing. So if I jump up and hold the button, the yo-yo just stays in place, and Penny does a swing like this. The really cool thing about this is that if Penny touches the ground while the yo-yo is still up, then she can still jump on it. This is called an elevated sleep bounce. It's when the yo-yo is up, Penny lands, and you can still jump on it. And this is actually pretty simple to do. All I'm doing is holding X and tapping A. Hold X, tap A, and then jump. Let's see how we can use this new tech in wall climbing. First, this clip here gives a review on how to do wall climbing effectively. Check it out. Does this look familiar? We're back here in outer space. And over here, get out of here. Over here, we learned in the second video how to climb up this wall. This wall is a very good place for practicing wall climbing. And now that we've learned about the sleep bounce and elevated sleep bounce, and that we've reviewed wall climbing in general, there's a few different ways to get up here. I could do it without a sleep bounce, with 2 wall kicks. I could get a sleep bounce in there. Or, now that we know how to do this, I could do this. And that just makes this so much easier. It can be a little bit trickier to get right, and maybe a little bit slower if you mess up this sleep bounce, but as you notice, getting up here is just that much easier now, if you don't mess it up. And there's actually more to learn about wall climbing that we haven't even covered yet. But to do that, we're going to have to get out of here. So let's go somewhere else. I love the smell of the ocean breeze. So the next thing I want to show you about wall climbing is that it's about waterfalls. So some waterfalls in this game are actually just walls, but not all of them. Like if I go over here, that's just a wall that I can use. But if I go over here, oh, that's also a wall. Okay. Alright, if I go over here, that's not a wall. It's not a wall if you just splash into it. And so that's something to be mindful of when you're over here in Tideswell. Some of these waterfalls are actually just walls. And that one over there. But you can tell if it's not a... You can't really tell if it's not a wall unless you just crash into it like that. Let's find some other weird places to climb up. There's also something pretty special that we do here in 3-2. Convey your feelings. So, what I'm going to do... I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go over here to that showpiece. And what we like to do to speedrun this level is get the showpiece for good luck. And then this big blue sandy thing right here, you can actually climb up this. And this leads to a much later part of the level. All you have to do is just not fall into the sand twice. And you're already over here. So that's something I wanted to point out. It's not exactly a waterfall, but it counts. It counts. And we're already way over here, late in the level. Over here in Pangoville, in 7-2, there's a crazy speedrun strategy that we like to use where we just go this way. So I'm just gonna climb up here. That waterfall that's over there, the end of the level is actually just over there. And fortunately, this waterfall is a wall. And there's this section of the wall just next to it. So what I'm going to do is just go over here and jump up on the wall and wall kick this wall and the waterfall and do some wall climbing stuff. And you can beat this level in 20 seconds or less. Isn't that just crazy? Let's see if I can pull it off. Nope. The more height you get, you can always get more speed. It's always nice. Look at that! Isn't that just so cool? And we're already over here. 21 seconds. 22 seconds. There's one other trick I wanted to show you guys about wall climbing. There's essentially two modes of wall climbing. The first mode goes like this. Notice how Penny pushes herself off the wall, putting space between her and the wall. That is the first mode of wall climbing. The second mode is where you do a double jump first and then wall bounce. Notice how she sticks to the wall and can do a wall kick. That is the second mode of wall climbing. Alright. So here we are at 3-3. This is the first level where we see this new item, the chili pepper, the hot rod pepper. And it's something we use to ride on surfaces, as long as it's active. And as you can see, it has this little startup delay, where it peels out and gets ready to go. You can see it once more there. We can actually use a couple of tricks with this pepper. And we can skip this startup delay by using a dash and the ride button right away. If you do the dash and the ride button in quick motion, we can skip that little startup delay. It has one little downside where you have to be close to the ground or close to the surface for this to work, or else some weird things will happen. So I'm gonna get the pepper, dash, ride, and that's how you know you've done it right. There's no delay. If I do this fast pepper move too high up off the ground, that can happen. So you gotta be careful of that. So, let's see this again. Dash, ride. And on this part here, if I do that, plus these curved motions, it goes a little faster than usual, and I'm able to go all the way over here without getting that other pepper. Getting this next pepper before this one runs out skips the power-up delay, which is really fast, but it can be really hard to do. So don't be discouraged if you have to do the power-up delay again. Awesome! Moving on to the next thing. You know how in Donkey Kong Country you can roll off of a ledge and still jump? This is known as rolling deep. And Penny can essentially do the same thing. Let's see how we can do that. When Penny is riding on the yo-yo, she is essentially standing on it like a platform. And when she goes off of a ramp, or off of a ledge, there's a window of time where she can jump off the yo-yo still, like it's solid ground. This window of time is different depending on if you're going off a flat ledge, or going off a ramp, or going up a quarter pipe. And also, you have more time to jump off the yo-yo if you're going faster. Let's watch that last clip again. When Penny rolls up a quarter pipe, she has all the time in the world to jump off the yo-yo. So generally, you want to jump off the yo-yo at the apex of a quarter pipe jump. This is used all over the place. Let's see how we can use that and some other skills we've learned to speedrun through 1-3, Burger Bonanza. Here at the start, we use these quarter pipes to get up to these ledges and get to this first rooftop. This rooftop allows us to get enough speed and enough height to jump off this next quarter pipe and get to this taller rooftop here and skip that first burger power-up, saving several seconds of time. In this next part, we do the exact same thing to get enough height to make it to this taller ledge, skipping the trampolines to the left and saving even more time. And that is essentially what I mean by rolling deep. Let's finish watching this run and move on to the next thing. Oh yes, we still aren't finished yet. Oh, hello there. I was just messing around here in Vanilla Town. In my earlier tech videos, we went over Penny's aerial movement options, which is the dash, swing, and double jump, usually in that order. The reason why this works so well is because the dash gives Penny momentum. And, you know, we can add a sleep bounce in there, dash, swing, double jump. And that momentum is carried forward in the swing, taking her forward or upwards. The dash is a reliable way of building up momentum from anywhere. And as we saw, the sleep bounce is also really helpful. So if Penny already has plenty of momentum, dashing first will actually make her lose speed by normalizing it. This means her speed will default to the dash speed. So if you're already going really fast, swinging first can be a much better option because she can be flung forward or upwards and still have other movement options to use later. Let's see how we can do this effectively and where are some great spots to do this. Back over here at Tideswell. This fling tree, here at the start of 2-2, is an excellent spot for practicing the swing to dash move. Because as long as you get a good launch from the tree, you'll always be able to do it. So if we wanted to go this way, forward, there's this top of the tower that you can't normally access with the fling tree because it just doesn't give you enough distance. But using the swing to dash move, we can get there every time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch, and then I'm just going to throw the yo-yo first. When you throw it first, you always have the ability to use your other movement options after that. And throwing the yo-yo has this weird effect of carrying your momentum just a little bit. It's subtle, but it works. So, check this out. Throw, swing, and then dash. And that was pretty easy. And so you can use the double jump in the middle of that. I had to do it to get my position right. You can sprinkle in the double jump wherever you need to. It depends on the situation. And so if you can get up here every time with that trick, you've already mastered it, the swing to dash move. But let's go back over there. There's more to see here. You can actually see a lot of the level from here at home base. The fling tree is right up there. The top of the tower we just got to is over there. But the rest of the first part of this level just goes this way, to the right, in front of this big tower thing. And then we go up to here where that checkpoint is. And then the rest of the level is up here past this waterfall. So let's see if we can use that fling tree to just cut this way. We can make it all the way over here if we want to. And how do we do it? By using the swing to dash. So let's get over there and do that. So now that we're here at the fling tree again, let's try cutting to the right, because that's where the level is going. We can cut a lot of this level if you don't want to do that challenge that's over there. So, remember, throw, swing, dash. And that's how you can make it all the way over here really fast. And you can do this every time. It's just a reliable way to cut through the level and make it over here to this checkpoint as fast as you can. And that is the swing to dash. Let's look at a few places where you can use this without the fling tree. Here is 1-2's famous rooftop skip. This is tough to pull off, but it beats going around the rest of the level. There's also a couple of fun tricks we can do here in 4-1. First, we're going to jump up here on what I like to call the chef's rooftop. Why does that make you jump up like that? I don't know, but it works. And then we're going to go over here and jump across this gap. You need to have plenty of speed to get across this gap, but it does save a lot of time. There are lots of other places where you can try out this move. Try out some things for yourself. Do some experimenting. See where you can go. This yo-yo is so capable of going just about anywhere. I've said it many times. Now we're almost finished. There's one more thing I want to cover in this video. And that is the fastest re-riding moves. I'll just call it surfing. Hey there. We're here at the beach one more time. There's one trick I want to show you guys about surfing on the water. Let's use this and get up here and get a better vantage point. Ah, look at that gorgeous view. Tideswell looks amazing from up here. Alright, let's take a leap of faith. Uh-oh. No, what are you doing? Oh, goodness. I'm okay, everybody. I just had to swim to shore. I guess the demon just wanted to torment me some more. The trick I'm referring to is this. You want to tilt the control stick to make Penny sway to the side, but not really turning the yo-yo much. It's a finicky angle, and it's easier to do if you're going really fast, but it has an effect of causing you to decelerate slower when surfing on the water. If we go over here and use this hoop, we can make it all the way to the finish without rewriting. It's very handy for Tideswell and Pangoville. Awesome. Let's look at lava surfing next, really fast. Surfing on the lava is essentially the exact same thing as water, except for one key detail. You get exactly 1.45 seconds of lava time before the yo-yo kicks you off and ruins your day. When you swing and land on the lava, say to yourself, 1/1000, and jump, and you'll always be able to jump and keep some speed. Let's see how we can use this lava surfing trick to skip all of 9-3 and make it all the way to the finish line directly. Very directly. And now I'm just gonna keep making my way over here. Climb up this piece of scenery, and then the finish line is directly ahead. That is all I wanted to show you guys in this video. We have unlocked many of the powers of this cosmic string, but we still haven't even covered everything. It should be noted that everything we learned in this video and previous videos are all part of the restricted category. There is another speedrun category for this game, unrestricted. What does that mean? That's something to talk about in another video. But we already have a really good moveset with this yo-yo. In this video we talked about ground moves, wall climbing, fast hot rod pepper, rolling up ramps to gain new heights, powerful aerial moves, and fast surfing tricks. These all allow for truly unique and beautiful gameplay. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.